Right. Also pull up the stock of Ujjivan for you. We'll be joined by the management in just a bit. They've launched a small finance bank and that has begun its operations today. The stock is also up by about a percent in trade as we speak. So that's Ujjivan for you. In fact, the small finance bank is starting its operations today, and they will roll out a pan-India network by FY19. That's the kind of plan that they have. They have started with a soft launch of about 5 branches in Bangalore, but are targeting about 14 branches by the end of next month. This is, of course, in line with the kind of push that the RBI has given to small and payments bank as well as finance banks. In fact, let's get in the management to talk about the outlook going forward. Joining us on the show is Samit Ghosh. He's the MD and CEO at Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. Samit, congratulations on rolling out your small finance banking operations. Just talk about the environment, which seems good for now as far as the push from the RBI is also concerned, as also the details with regards to your expansion plans now going forward.
Well, we are starting with a pilot of 5 branches in Bangalore this month. And basically, we've invested a lot in new technology, people, channels. We want to make sure everything is working before we start rolling it out across to all our 457 branches across India. So this month 5, next month 10, and then over the course of the next financial year, FY18, we'll convert all our 457 branches and also open the 66 unbanked rural, which may have to meet the 25% requirement.
Right, Samit, and it'll be interesting to watch how the strategy of higher interest rate and superior service plays out for the small finance banks. And trust is the critical factor when it comes to garnering deposit. How do you expect to tackle the same?
See, first of all, I don't think we are offering very high interest rates. As far as fixed deposits are concerned, it is interest sensitive. So as a new institutions, most of us are offering maybe 1% higher than the average market rates on fixed deposit. As far as Ujjivan is concerned, on the savings account, we are actually offering the same as market rates because we are loaded up our savings accounts with all the kinds of benefits and services which a premier customer of a commercial bank gets, in terms of phone banking, in terms of your mobile, your internet banking, or your services delivered at doorstep, etc. So I think, services and delivery and access along with reasonably attractive interest rates are going to be key to attract, deposits in this segment. The segment which we, Ujjivan, are going after is not the middle class and affluent. We are actually going after, which the normal commercial banks do, but we are going after the unserved and underserved segments of the customers who actually currently bank with the unorganized sector. So our strategy is somewhat different, from that perspective.
Samit, just hold on a bit. I'll just come back to you, but pull up the stock of Jubilant Food for you, and those numbers just hitting the screen a minute ago. I'll just see how the stock is reacting. Profit at 20 crore rupees. The stock has shot up about 5.5% right now. Sales marginally better at 659 crores versus 634 crores. So clearly, it's a good quarter from Jubilant Food. Profit has shrunk though. It's come in at 20 crores versus 29.3 crores. We'll try and get you more details on that. Remember, festive season boost likely to be working for the counter, so you have seen a mild uptick as far as sales are concerned, but profit figure has gone down. As Navneet just gets us the more details of those numbers, more just a chart check on a Jubilant Food. You had this on your list at the start of the show as well.
Well, it's looking good on the charts. It's seen a nice breakout from a nice base formation. We can see levels of 1050 on Jubilant Food. Next one can go long with a stop around levels of 950 for targets of 1050.
Targets of 1050 on a Jubilant Food. Navneet, what seems to be working this time around? Profit has gone down by about 10 crores. Sales have seen a marginal uptick though.
Well, I'm just trying to open up the press release, but looking at the numbers, they seem to be okay. The key metric actually to be watched out will be the same-store sales growth number, which we are still yet to get. But if you look at the numbers so far, the stock has reacted positively. Mind you, in the last quarter, actually, Deep, the stock had seen a major correction after posting that negative same-store sales growth number. But let's see what that number stands as of now. But clearly, the street has given a thumbs up to the initial set of earnings which we have reported so far. So the stock is trading in the positive territory. We'll just get you more details in a while.
Right. In fact, Jubilant has been struggling with the same-store sales growth. They had also scaled back part of their store rollout plan. So that was one of the factors at work for Jubilant Food. They are they are the owners of the popular Domino's Pizza brand. Remember, in the festive season, also we spoken with the management, and they introduced a few new products to cater to the demand over there. So it'll be interesting to see the kind of growth trends, if any, are there on the same-store sales front. But Samit, getting back to you, thank you for waiting. We're talking about your small finance banking operations. Talk to us about the NIM figure. What's the target, especially in the initial phase for you right now?
Well, I think, our operating expense ratio probably will go up a little bit in the first couple of years because we've invested very heavily into technology in terms of branch infrastructure, people, etc. But it will be offset also by the lower funding costs which we expect as a bank. So we don't see our profitability, impacted to that extent.
Well, Samit, also tell us what are the categories of financing that you would be looking at?
In terms of loans, the group lending is bulk of our business. Along with that, we are also providing funding for micro SME businesses and also for affordable housing.
Right. As far as the client base is concerned, where are you looking to target more, and what's the kind of market share that you're hopeful that you'll be able to garner?
So we have a customer base of 3.5 million customers, and we are, if I'm not mistaken, one of the top 4 MFIs in India. I think we would continue to keep that position.
Well, Samit, and what would be your strategy in terms of geographies going forward?
Geography-wise, we have the widest coverage across India. So I don't think there's going to be any significant difference from the strategy we have followed so far. We are going to continue with our current strategy and serve customers right across 24 states and union territories.
Right. Of course, Samit, there are big challenges ahead for small finance banks. All of the small finance banks now will attempt in their own way to redefine banking in India, especially with the digitization drive that's underway. How are you looking to differentiate yourself from it? How are you looking to get ahead of the competition?
No, I think, a small finance bank is, as I mentioned, is going to be serving the unserved and underserved, which is relatively uncharted territory. And as you mentioned, each small finance bank has their own strategy. We have our own, and we will have to see how it works and modify as we go along in terms of our business. So it's going to be a learning exercise for all of us, and I think it's going to be a very interesting exercise because every small finance bank will come up with a different approach, and we'll see which one succeeds, which one doesn't succeed, and we'll move along on that basis.
Samit, also tell us what is the outlook going forward?
Well, I think, on the liability side, deposit side, the demonetization actually and the impact of digital, all the promotion which is being done for digital services, etc., which will be very helpful for us in terms of the liability side of the business. It will make things easier for us to attract deposits, especially from the unserved and underserved sector. But on the asset side, as I said, slowly things are getting back to normal, and it may take another 6 months for the microfinance industry to get back to normal.
Right, Samit, we'll leave it at that. Appreciate you joining us today, and good luck with your new small finance bank options going forward. That's the management of Ujjivan for you. Just pull up some of the charts on this one. So stock up by about 1.5% today, but on a 1 month move, you've seen about 30% of a jump coming in. In 2017 alone, the stock has run up by about 35%. So that's the kind of move that you've seen on an Ujjivan. It's been a volatile ride. If you pull up some of the other charts for you, so on a 3-month basis, the stock is absolutely flat. On a 6-month basis, has lost about 6%, but on a 1-year basis, it's up about 85%. So you can see a big up and down move coming in as far as the stock of Ujjivan Financial Services is concerned. Mohit, what do you make of a chart such as this, and what would be the advice to investors? Because it certainly seems to be a bit of a volatile mover and shaker in trade. Of course, it's given you strong returns, and demonetization has taken a toll on performance of some of these NBFCs. But should investors go for a stock like this, and what are you making of the charts?
Well, if one's holding, continue holding, have a deepest stop around levels of 400. If you're entering afresh at these levels and you have a very short-term point of view, then you need to have a tighter stop around levels of 420, and perhaps you can see levels of 460. But the real move is once we get past levels of 485, 490, 480 on the upside, then you can head higher even towards levels of 550. So 480 for me is the crucial resistance zone, which once we get past seems likely on the charts, then we can head higher to even 550. So broadly the trend is positive and can continue to head higher.
Right, Mohit. And how's the chart of Bajaj Finserv looking? That stock is up about close to 8% today, and in fact it's one of the good gainers on the future side as well.
Well, it's been on my buy radar for a while and it's trading at all-time highs right now. This could continue to head higher towards levels of 3,800 to even 3,850. It's a buy and hold kind of stock. One can buy it with a stop around levels of 3,575. It's a little bit of a deeper stop, but you need to have that because of the up move today. And 3,850, even 3,900 in the coming few months is possible in Bajaj Finserv. Very positive chart structure, good management, good in the charts.
Right, that's Bajaj Finserv for you, up about almost 8% in trade right now. Let's slip into a very short break. Up next, get you an exclusive conversation with the Steel Secretary Aruna Sharma about the rollback of a minimum import price for 19 products. That conversation coming